Hello, and welcome to Organizational Behavior. This is Dr. Vivoda, and I have created a PowerPoint presentation here for you that will augment your textbook. It will introduce you to some concepts which you will touch upon in more detail when you do read your text. Hope you do enjoy the PowerPoint presentation, but please realize that these are just brief talking points, and that in order to get the full benefit of this particular course, you do need to, of course, read the textbook. What are the learning objectives for this particular PowerPoint presentation? To explain the meaning and importance of organizational behavior within the context of overall organizational performance, and to ascribe individual differences to organizational behavioral outcomes, whether the differences are skills, abilities, personalities, perceptions, attributions, attitudes, or emotions. Now, you're probably thinking at this point, those are a lot of words that seem to remind me of psychology. Well, interestingly, organizational behavior involves a bit of psychology as well as a wide variety of other subject matter. So what is organizational behavior? Organizational behavior is defined as the study of the factors that have an impact on how individuals and groups respond to and act in organizations. I'll give you an example. When there's conflict in an organization between two coworkers, that's an example of organizational behavior. When everyone in the organization starts thinking alike, there's a group think, as there was in the example of the Challenger shuttle, where a lot of people realized that there was something wrong, but they didn't say anything. That was groupthink. So that's another type of organizational behavior. So it's basically, how do individuals and groups respond to and act within an organization? Now, there are a couple of theories related to organizational behavior. I'm going to talk a little bit about both. One is theory X and one is theory Y. I'll give you the story behind them. Several studies after World War II revealed how assumptions about workers' attitudes and behavior affect managers' behavior. Perhaps the most influential approach was developed by Douglas McGregor. He proposed two sets of assumptions about how work attitudes and behaviors not only dominate the way managers think, but also affect how they behave in organizations. McGregor named these two contrasting set of assumptions Theory X and Theory Y. Theory X, as you see here, is defined as a set of negative assumptions about workers that leads to the conclusion that a manager's task is to supervise workers closely and control their behavior. According to the assumption of Theory X, the average worker is lazy, dislikes work, and will try to do as little as they possibly can. Moreover, workers have little ambition and wish to avoid responsibility. Thus, the manager's task is to counteract workers' natural tendencies to avoid work. To keep workers' performance at a high level, the manager must supervise workers closely and control their behavior by means of the carrot and stick rewards and punishments. So if a manager accepts this theory, he or she shapes the work setting to maximize their control over workers' behaviors and minimize the workers' control over the pace of the work. Next, we're going to take a look at Theory Y. Theory Y is, in contrast to Theory X, assumes that workers are not N-O-T inherently lazy, do not naturally dislike work, and if they're given the opportunity, will do what is good for the organization. According to Theory Y, the characteristics of the work setting determine whether workers consider work to be a source of satisfaction or punishment, and managers do not need to closely control workers' behavior to make them perform at a high level, because workers exercise self-control when they are committed to organizational goals. The implication here with Theory Y, according to McGregor, is that the limits of collaboration in the organizational setting are not limits of human nature, but of management's ingenuity in discovering how to realize the potential represented by its human resources. It is the manager's task to create a work setting that encourages commitment to organizational goals and provides opportunities for workers to be imaginative and to exercise initiative and self-direction. When managers design the organizational setting to reflect the assumptions about attitudes and behavior suggested by this particular Theory Y, the characteristics of the organization are quite different from those of an organizational setting based on Theory X. Managers who believe workers are motivated to help the organization reach its goals can decentralize authority and give more control over the job to the workers, both as individuals and in groups. In this setting, individuals and groups are still accountable for their activities, but the manager's role is not really to control the employee, but to support and advise, to make sure employees have the resources they need to perform their jobs, and to evaluate them on their ability to help the organization meet its goals. So you can see those two theories are vastly different. So we have Theory X, Theory Y, created by Douglas McGregor, or I should say developed by Douglas McGregor. Very interesting concepts and different viewpoints of how employees actually operate, or how they are viewed to operate within the normal workplace. So if you look at Theory X in review, Theory X, the average employee is lazy, dislikes work, and will try to do as little as possible. To ensure that employees work hard, managers should closely supervise employees, and managers should create strict work rules and implement a well-defined system of rewards and punishments to control employees, and I put the emphasis on control. In contrast, Theory Y, employees are not inherently lazy. Given the chance, they'll do what's good for the organization. To allow employees to work in the organization's interest, managers must create a work setting that provides opportunities for workers to exercise initiative and direction. Managers should decentralize authority to employees and make sure employees have the resources necessary to achieve organizational goals. So hopefully this gives you a little idea about what organizational behavior is. There is truthfully a plethora of theories regarding organizational behavior. There is no doubt about that. However, I just took the opportunity to share Theory X and Theory Y so that when you're doing your reading, you already kind of have an idea about what goes on with those two theories. Keep in mind, one is negative and one is positive, so do not confuse the two. Make sure that you enhance this PowerPoint presentation by reading in your textbook and doing the assignments that relate to this concept, as well as other assignments that are involved in completion of this course. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation. Have a great day.